Why? Just why? Jailer burned with jealousy. If she had known the gemstone was hiding a priceless treasure, she would never have sold it. In the end, it ended up in the hands of a country bumpkin. What a loss. What a turn of events. This is such a blessing. Dustin held the flower of crimson gem up in one hand, the corner of his lips curling up into a wide smile. From the moment he laid eyes on the gemstone, he knew it was hiding something exceptional. Just as he expected, he had discovered a true treasure. The flower of crimson gem was not an ordinary flower. It was an extremely rare treasure. Typically, it could only be found in red gemstones. And it just so happened that the red gemstone on auction today was a crimson gem. Previously, he felt regretful thinking about the 900-year green lotus. However, the appearance of the flower of crimson gem came as a blessing and a happy surprise. At least he didn't travel all the way here for nothing. Ms. Grant, don't you think a price of $2 billion is extremely worth it for this precious item? He turned to look at her and flashed a smile. Should I say you're the true idiot here? You. Jailer was rendered speechless. The vicious words she had thrown out earlier at them were now directed at herself. She had spent $3 billion to purchase a subpar item, while Dustin had paid a mere $2 billion in exchange for an invaluable treasure. The stark difference was maddening. Ms. Grant, thank you for the treasure. We shall meet again soon. Dustin smiled and prepared to leave. Hold it. Jailer suddenly called out to him. Did I say you could leave? Are you going to treat us to a meal? Dustin smiled teasingly. Stop talking back. I'm taking that flower of crimson gem. Name your price, she demanded angrily. Naturally, she wasn't going to give up such a rare gem. Dustin refused her outright. I'm sorry, I'm not selling it. Not selling? Jailer scoffed coldly. Let me tell you honestly. Since I want it, you are selling that treasure to me no matter what. Dustin raised his eyebrows. Oh. Since when has that been the law? Shut up. My words are the law. She glared at him. Don't paint me as a bully. Since you spent $2 billion to purchase it, I'll buy it back from you for $2 billion. You won't incur any losses. And if I don't? Dustin smiled. Did she take him for an idiot? He was to resell a $2 billion purchase for $2 billion? Then you'll bear the consequences. Jailer threatened. The flower of crimson gem would be able to elevate her brother's martial arts prowess to another level. That was the reason she needed to obtain it, even if that meant putting down her dignity. How disappointing. It seems like the Grant family only amounts to so much. He shook his head. Let me repeat myself. I'm not selling the flower of crimson gem. If you insist on stealing it from me, don't blame me for taking action. With that, he left, with Roderick following after him. We'll see who has the last laugh. Jailer sneered and took out her phone, making a phone call. In the whole southern province, he was the first to not yield to the Grants. Since he didn't wish to part with his treasure, he shouldn't blame her for his own demise. They had just left the auction house when Dustin noticed they were being followed. He had to admit that the Grants were pretty efficient. It seemed like this wasn't their first time. Mr. Rhys, it appears we have some unwanted company, Roderick remarked, also noticing the tail. No need to bother about them. Let's just leave quickly. Dustin didn't bother to confront them and was prepared to leave. However, things don't always go as planned. A group of masked men suddenly had them surrounded when they reached a certain alley. There were around 20 to 30 men, each armed with a weapon. Hey, punk. I heard you got a valuable treasure with you. Give it to us and I might let you two walk away alive. The leader of the group brandies his knife, his tone frosty. Do you mean this? Dustin took out the flower of crimson gem. The leader's gaze betrayed his excitement. That's the one, give it to me now. Come get it yourself if you can. Dustin placed it back into his pockets and beckoned them forward with his finger. The leader's expression darkened. He felt like he was being played. Die, punk. Get him. We need to get that item back. On his orders, the masked men charged forward at the same time. Dustin smiled lightly, then flicked his wrist. Numerous silver needles shot out with sharp whistles, piercing straight into the men's acupoints. The next second, they were frozen to the spot, and their weapons were still raised. It appeared as if time stopped for them, and the only thing the Y could move was their eyes. What? The leader's expression betrayed his horror as he took in the scene before him. Without any warning, another silver needle shot out and pierced into his neck. What followed was a numbing sensation that was hard to suppress. No matter how much he struggled to free himself, it was in vain. "Who are you?" he spat out with difficulty. "I'm in a good mood today. I don't wish to kill." Dustin walked up to him and said coolly, "When you get back, ask Jailer to stop provoking me. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to handle it when I decide enough is enough." With that, he left haughtily, with Roderick behind him. After 15 minutes, Jailer arrived at the scene and frowned. Not only was Dustin nowhere to be found, but her bodyguards were all frozen in their spots. "What happened? Where's my flower of crimson gem?" Jailer questioned them sternly. The leader appeared helpless as he responded, "Ms. Grant, he's too strong. We're no match for him. What a bunch of useless trash. What am I paying you for if can't handle some country bumpkin?" Jailer snapped at them. They lowered their heads, unable to utter a word. "Where did they go?" Jailer demanded. The leader pondered for a moment. "I don't know. But from their accents, they should be from Swinton." "Swinton?" She narrowed her eyes. "It just so happens that I'm heading there tomorrow to ask for the bride's hand in my brother's stead. Since he's from Swinton, I'm going to find him no matter what." "Ms. Grant, he doesn't seem like an ordinary person," the leader advised. "Huh. So what? Even if he had 3 heads and 6 arms. I'll make sure to deal with him cleanly." She cocked her head up in confidence. "Hey, what are you still standing there for? Go back and get ready. We need to put on a good show worthy of our name for our journey to Swinton tomorrow."